What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to go over tactics layout. I'm going to explain you all the tactics instructions for the 4-3-1-2, 5-2-1-2, 4-2-3-1, 3-5-2 and a 4-4-2. I'll explain to you the updates, what I have changed, and it's very important that you listen to my understanding, so that way when you copy the tactics, although they'll work for you just as it is when you copy these, you can take it to the next level if you adapt it to your playstyle. So we're going to go backwards. So the 4-4-2, I've got rid of constant pressure just because, I'll be honest, I just don't use it. I don't like it. You can still use constant pressure if you want to, but we've gone with 60-65 long ball forward runs. Now the idea behind this formation is, if we are losing by a goal or two, we will change this formation and we'll press our opponent. That's the idea behind this formation. So solely if we are losing. The reason why I put press after possession loss on is because sometimes I may want to change this formation and start the game with it. Let's say I'm in a rush, or let's say I only have like an hour left to play like 5 games, or I'm in a rush, for example, to blitz my games. I will normally start on this 4-4-2. So you can either start on this 4-4-2 or you can use it when you're losing. So when you're losing, I would suggest using team press or using constant pressure. That way you solve the issue. On the defensive phase, you're going to be high up the pitch. I'm going to be very far forward to press the ball very high up, and then when you win the ball back, you're going to be darting forward with long ball and forward runs, so players make runs in behind. The instructions, again, you can just copy these. I'm going to pause it. You can pause the video and you can just copy these. But this is just my weekly tactics update. You can of course refer back to my main video on my channel for the 4-4-2, but I'm not going to spend 20 minutes going over each one because I do that already on my channel. But you can just copy these tactics and they all do work. Then we're going to move over to the 3-5-2. It's the new addition that stays in every single year. It doesn't replace the 5-2-1-2. Now, if you're going to use a 5-2-1-2, you can use a 3-5-2 alongside the 5-2-1-2. They're essentially the same formation, except for the 3-5-2 is a more defensive variation, especially with the 2 CDMs. So the idea we want is to be a bit of a balanced system. One way for like 0-0 or 1-0 down or 2-0 down, we can still press. We've got 3 players on stay forward, long ball, forward runs, 65 width. And of course we have 5 on the players in the box. In terms of the instructions, we have all 3 of the players on stay forward. Now what you can do is, what I've changed this week is, just because of the way the formation is, I put this player on comeback and defense and conservative. The reason for this is I want to defend in kind of like a 5-3-1-1, because the 5-2-1-2 is a bit more attacking than this. So we've gone back to a bit more of a defensive phase. Comeback and defense, both the left mid and right mid. I've got rid of card inside. It's not working for me, so I removed that. But everything else stays like the same. You can still use hug the sidelines if you want to with this formation. If you forget to use hug the sidelines, you can always put stay wide on. If you're the kind of person like myself, where you just completely forget sometimes in the game. CDM, both cut passing lanes, stay while attacking cover center, and left center back and right center back on overlap. Overlap doesn't mean they'll run forward on the attack. It just means that when you win the ball, they'll run forward to the halfway line, but they won't go beyond that unless there's 9 times out of 10 they will not go forward. But sometimes when you're countering, they may go forward with forward runs. That's it. 4-2-3-1, which is my other formation. Balanced defensive style, width 47, depth 40, balanced and direct passing in width 57. This is the defensive formation that I would use for most of the game, in all honesty. I find myself changing to this formation most of the time if I'm trying to close out the game, and that is why I removed forward runs, and that is why I removed long ball. I've tried direct passing and I actually quite like it, to be fair. So I've adjusted the width and the depth a little bit, but that's how I've gone with the 4-2-3-1. I have a video on my Patreon series, and while I'm here, I might as well shout it out, I suppose. But don't forget, I do have a Patreon series, should I say? Patreon.com/FIFA School. Some of the best FIFA tutorials on my channel, and of course we have money back guarantee, so you can join for 1 month, and if you don't get better, I'll refund your money. That is a NealGuides guarantee, because that is how sure I am of the service. So there's hundreds of videos on there. We have a series right now going from all the way from Division 10 to the Elite Division and we end up using simple tactics, simple gameplay, so any single person, no matter, even if you're not good at the game, can copy it, because we're not abusing mechanics, no corner glitches, just simple, clean football. But anyway, link is down below in the description if you're wondering in regards to that. But yes, we also have the tap patterns on the 4-2-3-1 on that as well, on my Patreon. But stay central, get in behind, stay forward for the striker. We have comeback and defense for the 3 camps. As I mentioned to you, this is my defensive formation. If I had a 4-3-3 here, these guys would be on stay forward. So do you understand what I'm saying to you? To listen, and that way you can adapt it to your playstyle. So if you have a more defensive option, you can put this guy on comeback and stay forward instead of comeback and defense, but I do not. So we have him on comeback. Same with our 3 camps. Middle camp still conservative. Strikers stay central, stay forward, and get in behind. Now for both the centre mids, we have the exact same thing over here. We do have the element of cut passing lanes, cut off centre, step out attacking. The idea behind that is that when you do lose the ball, is that the cut passing lanes is the most important thing, and you'll see this in a 5-2-1-2. In the defensive formation, you need to have 2 CDMs. I would never say go for like a 5-4-1 in my opinion, because a 5-4-1, although in theory it looks like a very good formation, but I would say only if you're like a very good player you'll understand how to defend with this formation, because you actually create a lot of gaps, especially in this area over here. And a lot of players, they don't know how to use players, they don't know how to bring them back if they don't have CDMs there. So the CDMs makes them naturally stay in those very much defensive positions. But left back, right back, stay back, conservative, overlap, the usual. To be honest, if you watch my streams, I don't forget I'm streaming on YouTube now. So by the time you're watching this, I probably have a stream right now going live. Don't forget, when I am doing this, in all honesty, the most important thing is to remember, sometimes I generally just forget to change the formation. It depends on your skill level. I could probably stay on this 4-2-3-1 for 20 of my games and still win 99% of them. But if you're, for example, someone and you're like maybe a gold 3 player like last year's ranks, you may be using this only 10% of the time. So I understand it will depend on your playstyle. The 4-3-1-2, now to be honest, you could use the 5-2-1-2 or the 4-3-1-2 here. It's very, very much simpler. It's up to you. So if you are going to be using the 4-3-2-1, now you're going to see some different tactics compared to what I mentioned yesterday's video. That's because I just combined it so that way I can change between the 4. So if I was going to use the 4-3-1-2, I'll do it like this. This is the way that I do the 4-3-1-2. Put these guys on balance and stay back. And then what I do basically is I put overlap and conservative, and I do attack and fallbacks I want to. That is the 4-3-1-2. So you can just pause this. Again, I got a video on this on my channel, so you don't have to really watch this section. And then you can use the exact same tactics. Instead of, you can use balanced here, and you can use direct passing. That is the 4-3-1-2. But what I've done is, me personally, I've used my 5-2-1-2. So this is not a defensive formation. This is basically a defensive, attacking, and ultra attacking, and this is what I like to call an alternative attacking formation. Alternative attacking is very similar to the 3-5-2, but even more attacking. So in theory, 4-2-3-1 should be here, 3-5-2, 5-2-1-2, and 4-4-2 should be laid out like that. But I'll be honest, I just haven't got around to changing it. As simple as that. But balanced 55-50. I just decreased the width a little bit, and then I just, as I said, depth between 45 to 60. I've gone with 50 because I use this quite a lot of the time. I have a video on this on my channel, how to use this. I've been using it on stream. Basketball play forward run, so left back, right back, they sprint forward when we get the ball. Both strikers, and we put them on stay central, stay forward. The cam, as I mentioned, depending on your skill level. If you could put these guys on stay forward, then you have a very good attacking formation. But sometimes you may figure out that this is too attacking, so you can always leave this guy on comeback and offense. It's completely up to you. I put them on stay forward anyway. Left in the mid, right in the mid on balanced. Absolutely not. You put them on stay back, cover center. I personally put both of them on stint edge of the box for a cross, because I don't cross the ball. That's the reason why I do it. So you can always feel free to put them or get into the box for a cross, or put the most defensive down the edge, but there's no reason for me to do it. And the cam, just make sure you don't put free roam on. And people who ask me about this, free roam, they just go into these random positions. It doesn't help you. You want the cams to be behind your 2 strikers for build-up play. And then left back and right back, I put them on stay back, conservative, and overlap. Because the reason why, what I do, don't forget, is I have attack and fallback. So I have these guys going forward. So I just activate the D-pad tactic, attack and fallbacks. It cancels this out, and then it goes forward. This is an undefendable formation. This will be the meta very, very soon. If some top tier players will be smart enough, you maybe even see this on a pro scene maybe a couple of times. If someone actually understands it, picks it up. It's more better than a 5-3-2 because you have a cam and 2 strikers, which makes it more attacking. And that is why the 5-3-2 is basically like the 3-5-2 on that level. But I prefer the 3-5-2 because it has a left mid and right mid. So I would always use the 3-5-2 over the 5-3-2, and also you also get 2 CDMs, whereas in the 5-3-2 you don't. But if I had to choose between a 5-3-2 and a 5-2-1-2, it will of course be the 5-2-1-2, because you still have that almost diamond-like aspect, you can say, and then you have the left back and right back going forward, and they are basically unmarked, a guaranteed situation for you to get past. The last thing I want to say is overlap for these guys. People have been asking me about this. Don't put step up, don't put these guys on. You put them on overlap, listen, they're not going to be. So when these guys go forward, let's say it's the halfway line, right? These guys are going to fly forward because of fast build-up play. They will just go to the halfway line. They will never ever go beyond it unless you have forward runs on. But they don't run into your opponent's up. If you find they're running up too forward too quickly, just hold the ball with your 2 center mids and then they'll go back to the center back position. The idea behind overlap is just that when you're counter attacking, they're on the wide area so they can link up with the left back and right back flying forward, the flying fullbacks. That's the reason why I did overlap. And also you can do the 1-2s back from your left center back and your right back. If you concentrate on what I'm saying, as in wait and watch them and see what they do, you'll understand what I'm talking about, and you can actually use it to aid your performance. It does take some time getting used to. You can of course turn it on default if you want to and just stay back, but it very much takes the formation to another level. If you're not that good at defending, you may consider just putting this on balance because it might be too open. But anyway guys, that is the weekly tactics update. Just a few minor changes here and there. We changed some formation around, some things with a 4-4-2 and 4-2-3-1 widthwise. 3-5-2 remains the same as it is. And don't forget, of course, my FIFA School Series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. Don't forget chat, don't forget chat, I'm acting like I'm streaming right now. I said don't forget guys, I love the 5-2-1-2 attack patterns video, my Patreon series as well, where I explain how to use it as well. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy, of course. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.